Right. We threw forward to the idea that South Africa is becoming a cosmetic medical tourism destination. And I asked Mmatseko Mosito if she herself would undergo cosmetic surgery. And she said yes. Is there a specific cosmetic procedure that you would undergo right now?
I would love to know if you would undergo the knife, because it's no longer a gender-based activity. You see?
No.
Now everybody's doing it. So is it something you would consider?
Personally, no.
Why not?
Because
freedom. I mean,
Here's my take on it.
Right.
I was born this way. I will have what I have. I will die this way. I don't need to add or remove.
You're not going to get a bigger nose,
no,
a smaller nose.
No, I'm fine.
No teeth, veneers in your teeth.
Let's get into that conversation. Because South Africa isn't just competing on the global health care stage, it's quietly becoming one of the world's most trusted destinations for medical tourism. From life-changing oncology and cardiology care to cosmetic and dental procedures, thousands of international patients are choosing South Africa because the quality matches top global hospitals. But at the fraction of the cost, and beyond the treatment itself, it's the human side, the personal stories, the short waiting times, and the chances to heal in a country known for its beauty and warmth that keeps attracting more people to the shores of South Africa. And to help us unpack this medical tourism in South Africa, we are joined on the line by Dr. Dhesan Moodley, co-founder and director of Direct Hair Transplant SA. Doctor, thank you so much for your time. Welcome to the Upside. Talk to us about some of the trends that we're seeing. Medical tourism in South Africa. It seems like it's a booming industry, but for many, we are not quite familiar as to what the trends are. What are people undergoing the knife for in South Africa in particular?
Well, thank you for having me on the show. I'm really pleased to be here. Yeah, in South Africa, presently, we are becoming an emerging hub for medical aesthetics. South Africa has always been renowned for its cutting edge medicine, from the first heart transplant. And that has, over the years, have just metamorphosized into something really huge. And it's across all the medical sectors, especially in aesthetics, cosmetic dermatology, advanced skincare treatments. And all this, in South Africa is really being fueled by technological innovation that we have in South Africa, our regulatory advancements from the HPCSA in creating a well-structured and regulated industry, as opposed to, I would say Turkey, and the international investment and local investment into our emerging hub. Given the beauty of South Africa and the medical prowess, it's something that's a lion that's ready to roar, I think, and we are seeing it.
We're having a really fascinating discussion with Dr. Dhesan Moodley in his capacity as the co-founder and director of Direct Hair Transplant, and we are looking at modern medical technology, highly trained professionals, and the facilities that we've got in South Africa that are clearly drawing in internationals to come through for medical tourism. What does that mean? That means people are coming to our shores to get treatments, medical treatments of all kinds. And of course, as Dr. Moodley has established, that a lot of what is happening is around aesthetic medicine, which is fascinating. Let's take a break. We'll be right back.
na Abedi Jean de la Croix. Leo tujadili kuhusu chipukizi wanaoimba nyimbo za wasanii wengine. Unadhani hili linatokana na nini, Omari?
Nadhani kweli kwamba tukizama muziki ya sasa, hasa wasanii ambao ni chipukizi, kwa kweli kwamba yani karibu kutoka muziki wao wenyewe, lakini wanakuwa wanapenda kuhubiria muziki ya zamani hizo muziki wengine ambao ni taimbo.
Wengine wanadai kufanya hivyo ni kupromote vipaji vyao haraka ili waweze kujulikana. Je, yawezekana kukawa na ukweli wowote au ndio kukosa kabisa kipaji cha kuandika mistari?
Ndio, hiyo unaona kwamba msanii anapoazimia kwamba kuchukua wimbo mwingine wa msanii mwingine na kurudilia yani mara mbili sivyo, haionyeshi kwamba yani ndo wanaanza kazi ya muziki aidha nini, lakini ukiangalia kabisa asilimia kubwa utakuja kuona kwamba wanakosa ile mawazo ya kutunga muziki.
Zilipendwa kila Jumamosi kuanzia saa 12 kamili majira ya Afrika ya Kati hadi saa 1 kamili majira ya Afrika ya Kati.
Tebogo and Mmatseko from the upside.
21 minutes past 1 p.m. in Central African Time. On the line with us is Dr. Dhesan Moodley, joining us as the co-founder and director of Direct Hair Transplant. And we are talking about technologies in the medical fraternity, to be precise, that are bringing in internationals. Medical tourism is quite a big thing internationally. And it's very fascinating to note that over the last decade, it seems South Africa is growing in popularity when we look at this, especially for people that are looking at cosmetic and dental procedures to be done here. Very interesting. And as I understand it, complex, other medical complex situations like having to see an oncologist or a cardiologist are also increasing in popularity. Dr. Moodley, thank you for staying on the line with us. Let's talk about... just to elaborate on your point around what's been happening over the last decade and the recent developments that have positioned South Africa as an emerging medical aesthetic hub. So compared to perhaps other places, the United States is quite popular. Turkey is also quite popular. What do you think makes us such a hub for this work? Is it just the medical treatments, or do people come here and perhaps explore other things as they come for medical tourism purposes?
Well, obviously, the luxury safaris, the coastal holidays, that's becoming increasingly popular among the visitors. People are always pleasantly and beautifully surprised with what happens in South Africa. And when you go to any of our medical establishments, they see the level of care, the cost of care, which is very comparable to the best in the world and cheaper. America is cost prohibitive. Europe is cost prohibitive beside Turkey. So I think that South Africa and Turkey are going to be the two biggest destinations. There's India as well. That's a huge destination. India fights on price. Turkey fights on price, and South Africa realistically is fighting on price and the luxury of the safaris, the coastal holidays, and so forth. What sets us apart is our skilled workforce. We are highly skilled in aesthetics in South Africa. In medicine per se, throughout all fraternities of medicine, we are highly skilled and we adhere to best practices. We have global expertise, international conferences, workshops, training sessions, and we collaborate with leading experts from Europe, Asia, and Americas. So, and because we have such a strong Health Professions Council that ensures high standards of safety, ethical practices, these changes have increased our consumer confidence and has made South Africa much more attractive for international investors and tourists.
Dr. Moodley, you are a specialist when it comes to hair restoration. I think if anyone is balding right now, they should just go to Dr. Moodley's Direct Hair Transplant SA. Let's talk about some of the innovations that you have at DHI that set you apart from the international markets or the international platforms out there, international clinics in Turkey, in USA. Why would someone come to DHI as compared to some of those?
Firstly, Tebogo, I'm not the specialist. I'm just the medical director of DHI, Direct Hair Implantation, is a global company. 57 clinics, 46 countries, been around for about 50 years now. They were the pioneers in hair transplants. Um, Hair transplantation essentially belongs in three categories. There's an FUT, which is very old technology. It's called follicular unit transplants. Then we had FUE, which DHI brought around into the world about 30 years ago. That's follicular unit extraction. And now we've got something called DHI, which is direct hair implantation. And this company is on the forefront internationally in innovation. And the method that we use is where we use a specialized implanter pen, which allows for precise placement of the individual hair follicles. And as compared to the other methodologies, we don't use scalpel or stitches or anything of that nature. Very minimally invasive, reduces the trauma to the scalp, speeds up recovery, and basically it really enhances the overall aesthetic outcome. In terms of DHI globally, they've invested in research and development over the last 50 years. And essentially, they've refined their procedures, and continually introduced new solutions for diverse hair types and patient needs. Typically, hair transplants were always, for the European market. And now we are seeing a rapid growth in the African continent. There's only one other DHI franchise on the African continent, and that's in Egypt. We have another one in Mauritius, and South Africa is now the hub. And we are seeing patients from as far afield as Ethiopia, Nigeria. We've had a few patients even last week from Namibia. So yeah, it's taking roots in South Africa, and it has had a significant impact on what we are trying to achieve in South Africa. And it's the first of its kind in South Africa. No other organization or no other hair transplant company provides the DHI training and the DHI procedure.
It's really fascinating to see that there's also a growing trend in hair transplant, Doctor. So I want to take this into economic territory, if I may. The impact that the growth of medical aesthetics has on South Africa's healthcare and the economy at large.
Oh, definitely. The growth of medical aesthetics in South Africa has had a massive impact on both the healthcare sector and the broader economy. Post-COVID, the healthcare sector really took a hit, and doctors had to reinvent themselves. And it's a job at the end of the day, and it's the income. And it's not just doctors; it's the auxiliary staff, the medical allied professions. The whole, it's not just medical. So I know we're breaking it down into medical aesthetics, but medical tourism per se, it has driven, what has it done? It has had a great positive impact on our healthcare sector and the economy. It has created massive improvements in clinical standards. We've now got, because of the income streams that are coming in, the various practitioners, clinics, hospitals have invested huge amounts now in advanced treatments. And South Africa has been encouraged to adopt innovative technologies. Again, this expansion has now spurred, specialized training programs that we've brought in as well as DHI. We've raised the overall skill level of all healthcare professionals in this aesthetics and tourism industry. And it's actually has supported the development of new medical disciplines. I mean, if you look at DHI as just but one example, never has it been in South Africa. And suddenly, because of the advancements in medical aesthetics and medical tourism, we now found it prudent that we should bring in DHI into South Africa. Because economically, it has just attracted a substantial amount of private investment, leading to greater job creation, greater in the medical, administrative, and support roles.
Dr.
Yeah, and
Dr.
it's
Moodley,
generating good foreign revenue for us.
absolutely. Dr. Moodley, will park it there for today. Thank you so much for your time and for your insights on how the medical tourism is growing and on the rise in South Africa. The voice of Dr. Dhesan Moodley, co-founder and director of Direct Hair Implant, SADHI.